And in the final week of session, a handful of laws to protect reproductive rights passed the legislature. One would shield information about abortion services from digital medical records. Another would allow minors to consent to receiving birth control without their parents' permission. Illinois is a national hub for abortion care, providing it not only to Illinoisans, but also nearly a quarter of the people who have had to leave their home states for abortions, according to data from the Guttmacher Institute. Across the country, there have been cases where women were reported to law enforcement by healthcare workers after using abortion medications.